Benny Boy might have his number here, folks. Game number 4, and we take to Boardland. But the Bald Boy has got the pick he needs. Abbasids up against Malians. Malians are a civ that famously hates 2 TC civs. Be a shame if this civ more than 2 TC'd. Because Abbasids love town centers. Now, the one thing that could be interesting in this matchup that could actually throw a pipe in the spoke of Dimu's wheel here is that this is Boardland, a phenomenal map for Pro Scouts play. Pro Scouts allows Farimba, and Farimba can feel pretty damn imba against Abbasids. We actually saw B versus MSN, how that can play out quite brutally for the Abbasids. Now, different caliber player, I'm sure MSN doesn't mind me saying, he's not quite on Dimu's level. So maybe Dimu can show us the way to success here. Eco Wing feels good when you go 3 TC, a bit weird when you do 2. I almost want to say Culture Wing makes more sense here. And I'm not ignoring the push-ups, we're just literally not doing them when we're in-game. Doesn't make sense. Scout rotation already off to a good start for WAM, though. 16 sheep to just 9. Pro Scouts into Farimba Freeborn Springs. Ah, you, sir, must be looking for our grand finalist B, because that sounds like a strategy he want to do. Yeah, WAM not really known for mass spring ordering as much. And it's going to be military wing. Okay. Yo, this is cool, though, because it's a classic move to apply pressure to Malians because it forces a reaction. So Dimu can still go 2 TC. It's just you open with melee wing, and then you poke onto the pit mine. And if you see 0 reaction, you even build a ram. WAM, meanwhile, is going to be thinking Mansa, because you need extra economy here. And yes, the finals will be immediately after this. So it's turned into a long day. You can blame all of the players for that. It's not one series that caused this. It's everyone. Because we're already 5 hours in. So we're probably going to be like 6 hours deep on the stream before grand final starts. And that's if, of course, this ends up being the final game. Neck and neck on the voting, kind of, right? Like, 41% to Dimi, 59% to WAM. A lot of people seem to be leaving the Malians. I mean, this is a very good Pro Scouts map, folks. Boardland has 30 deer in total to pick up. It's a lot. And Abba doesn't really play into Pro Scouts. Not with this build, anyway. Like, I think the way you can actually make Abba pretty good for Pro Scouts is Culture Wing. Which you're not really just going to be expecting to see here. No movement on the stone either. So I'm wondering if Dimu is going to go 1 TC all in. Which sounds really weird. Yeah, it would be a while since we've seen like a 1 TC all in this deep in. Like when we watch Give You Anxiety, we see it a lot. That guy is obsessed with 1 TC all in. But most people admit that Abbasids are best when they have extra town centers or Castle Age. Check-ups complete. Sheep Hall. 22 for WAM. I mean, Pro Scouts doesn't even feel entirely necessary at that point. It's probably still going to do it. We can already see by the gold. He's going to do it. He's even prepping the mill at almost a perfect time for it. I think the play here is you just build up to 4 Warrior Scouts and kill the Spears. Because remember, Warrior Scouts have 7 base damage and heal really fast. So you can just clean up the military wing. Dimu. Well. We've got the 1-2-3 punch. This is the perfect triangle beginner that we've seen in the past from Abbasids. It's going to be military wing into a stables opening, giving you all 3 units of the triangle. Spear, archer, and horseman. Of course, the hilarity is Warrior Scout spits in the face of all that. WAM, now building the stables. Looks like he's going to be heading for Warrior Scouts. I'm just a bit worried this might be too late. I mean, Warrior Scouts take, what, 15 seconds each? Outpost with 2 villages should take you, I believe, 45 seconds, if I'm not mistaken. There's no way that this is going to be quick enough. He's going to have to ignore the gold loss. I mean, he does have a back gold spawn as well, but still tricky. All right, 1s if you think Dumu's going to win this. 2s if you think WAM's taking it. Because this just got very interesting. I love how people have just innovated the outpost rush on Malians by simply building a second villager into the play. It's ridiculous how much more impactful it's proven here. Warrior Scouts are now going to be marching around the back, but we talked about this, right? Like, you know, you tickle long term, but the whole idea with the outpost rush, why it's so impactful here, is you can't win by tickle. And also, the Horseman player gives him the guaranteed snipe out. Remember, Horseman quicker here. He's even going to hang around to gather wood, because you could actually just turn this into a ram play, guys. Ram play onto the tree line, onto the stables, stops anything from Wham. Wham. Only upside there, of course, is he will have the siege damage to take them down, right? Remember, you get bonus damage against scouts and siege with warrior scouts in age 2. You don't get the bonus against ranged until age 3, which actually means that Dumu could just build a proxy archery range here, and it will give him a very strong leverage, because with Wham losing his gold vein, you can't really go javelins. So warrior scouts are just trying to get out on the gathering. And the good news is, like, 2 horsemen. You realize you don't want to fight that. You need more. Because you only have 2 more damage than these warrior scouts, and they heal. Not to mention the fact they... Do they attack quicker? I think it's slower, right? Yeah. Look at this snipe. I don't know. This is just looking really solid by Ben so far. He is now on to the 2TC play, so we're seeing Stone Gathering coming in. God, warrior scouts are so obnoxious. It's the heal. Like, when you're chasing like this, you feel so bad going, no, please don't heal enough to take another hit. Full fortification. So pit mine is gone. Wham is setting up the second one here. That would be a little bit of a far reach until Dimmu has more troopers. We do not have an archery range on the front line. He has, however, built them at home. Yeah, that's the weird feeling, I think, with Abbasid, right? It's like, realistically, with this play, you'd feel better about a proxy base. But if you do a proxy base, you notice the difference it would have made there. He wouldn't have had Golden Age as early. So he would have been missing out on a pretty big eco buff. And yeah, good someone noticed that, the sheep over here. Yes, you did used to be able to block the pit mines by having, like, sheep in range. I think that was Dumu. Intentionally, when I clicked on it earlier, I thought maybe Wham had clubbed a sheep when he came out originally, but I think this was actually Dumu trying to stop him. Camel Archer coming as well. This is a problem for Wham. I mean, he doesn't lose much damage, right? 7 damage is already low, so percentile decrease not crazy. But it does feel a little bit depressing when you're trying to contest Horsemen. We do have Donzos getting added in as well, but the funny thing there, guys, is Camel Archers counter Donzos as well. Like, this is quite awkward for Wham now, because the unit he needs is javelins. It's not one he can easily afford. Yeah, not without risk. Second TC now coming up, and I think Wham might suspect it, but doesn't seem fully aware. He's going for that fast castle we talked about. So this has to be what? Freeborn? I think it's Farimba Freeborn. Most logical play to do here. And then you have to just send it across the map. Rax is now coming in from Dimmu, so I don't think he wants this to reach the 3rd age. I've got an interception here. Scouts are going to see ahead of time, so they'll be able to dodge. What an interesting game. It's been a hot second since I've seen Abbasid play this exact way. Against Malians, right? Like, it kind of makes sense, but you think you just want the 2TC. Then again, I feel like Abbasids and Malians currently in competitive at least come out in different places, and Abba actually gets banned a lot. But of the few games we've been seeing, this has been the thing to smash Abba's teeth in. Farimba now on the way. Dimmu only has a 3 villager lead. Dimmu's been waiting in the tree line there. Yeah, so Wham is just going to have to try to run for it. Scout does see him. Should get most of this home. This is a lofty amount of food to be hauling back to base. But wait, he's manually dropping off the deer, which might prove to be a mistake here. The Camel Archer. He's reducing the damage way too much. So instead of just taking half the deer home, he drops everything. Oh, no. What was that? Wham. I don't think he has much deer back here. Maybe 2 maximum. He may have Farimba, he may have Castle Age, but what he might not have here is the food to do anything with it. That's insane. I can't believe that. Just all the deer sitting here. Questions have to be asked on that move there. Wham. We'll move out for a different deer now instead. We do have the stab coming at the back. So Wham, without active gold gathering, but with the ability to pump freeborn. 8 of them just got queued up. It's triple racks production to get them out as well. Now, these things are ridiculous. They are very much not well balanced. 175 HP with 5 ranged armor is, for lack of a better word, freaking crazy. Dimmu will need to get the age up to contest this. The good news for him is with it being freeborn, with it being Farimba, Wham does not have any type of economical advantage. So the 2TC can feel pretty good here. Culture Wing is on the way for Dimmu. Interesting he's blobbing more archers here, considering you're up against freeborn. Not really the thing you want. We're not on the test server, right? So... Huh? David Lynch died? Jesus. I don't think we can do quite a minute, but that was like 20 seconds from me, which is rare. Damn. One of the greatest filmmakers, man. Pour one out for that legend. Let's see if we're going to have to pull one out for Ben. Dive's coming in from Wham. Tech up is still 45 seconds out. He's going to have to fight. And that is depressing damage. He can't just do nothing. Spears are pretty good here, though. You just need to get a lot of them. Like, actually, the counter to this play right now is mass spears. Because they have about the same damage as his freeborn with half the HP. So weirdly enough, the trashiest of unit is the way to overcome OP-ness here. Because Wham is one-dimensional. It's only freeborn and he's trickling them. It's buying time for Dimmu. He's getting the spear blob up. I think Wham, if he wanted to make this happen, he actually needed to just maybe delay himself by an extra 10, 15 seconds, get the next wave in. Instead, he held them in reserve. And this is Gulam now. Like, you've opened the floodgate, right? You can't play Mansa Musafadi to counter this. Yeah, Dimmu, he queues him up. Needs to be a little bit careful. This is an overextension. You don't have enough spears to be this far out. Camel archers and archers both will die very fast to freeborn. Courtesy of the extra damage. Okay, Wham just needs melee text right now. I don't know why we're getting undermesh. He actually just needs more melee damage. These guys don't kill quick enough. First Gulam starting to come out for Dimmu. Does have to pull the villagers away, but it's just once again another unit that doesn't die quickly. It's idle time. It's just not going to be many kills. We'll be able to Congo line around. Gulams are now coming out. Veterancy for archers is on the way in. We've also got Pock being queued up. That's going to allow a cheap transition into boot camp and even composite bows here. Reason for which is you know your opponent now has to go Musafadi because without the Fulani, he can't afford Mass Sofa. Mali at the moment can easily cover with passive income, but you have to skew the maths there with Golden Age, right? Like, Golden Age is 15%. It's like, well, he's not that far ahead. He is ahead. And it's more than just a raw count. He needs to protect that economy, though. He's losing a few. He's going to be able to mop up over here. Several villagers going down the front side. Dimmu kind of getting desperate to find food. Now, Wham seems to just be everywhere right now. Has to be. It's all about momentum here. If things slow down, they will trend against him. Good damage being done. Dimmu's lead has been shrunk to just 6. Gulam are looking pretty pathetic with only 1 in the field. It looks like Dimmu was kind of skimping on the food necessary to get it together. Instead, it's going to be composite bows. And still, the freeborn are raiding on the back. And we still have greed from Wham. Even more of the deer coming home. Those villagers in the front line are probably going to die as well. This is tricky, man. It almost feels like Dimmu needed some cheap walls here. The problem he's running into is like he should be able to win now, but his economy is in the gutter. He just doesn't have the amount of food necessary to get mass Gulim online. And you need mass, right? Like Freeborn are just quicker. So while they'll lose in a fight with you, they'll just avoid that fight. It is still very interesting Doom went for comp suppose, but I think part of it is a necessity due to the lack of the food we talked about. Plus, like, once you get the level 2 range tech, I mean, you do a little bit of damage. It's not crazy. It's going to be, what, 6 versus 8? That's what I have a worry for, is like, Wham now going for range 2 means you do nothing. Does at least protect you against the Musafadi, though. Yeah, like, one versus the world. Kind of feels like Malians are so much better for this build than Fulani on this map. Because it's so open, right? So, like, you can't easily protect yourself. Archer's in a bit of a tricky predicament here. They'll at least get a fight before ranged armor 2 comes in, but it's still so difficult to kill a single unit here. There's at least buying time for the rest of the army to arrive, and villagers are about to get idled again. Has to run away. Textiles is at least there now, so it's a bit harder to get these kills. I think what's even harder than that is actually getting your Gulim to attack. This is ridiculous. This is not going to stop. Wham is now up to 37 freeborn. He has plenty of deer. He's got a second TC coming. Had he waited just a little bit, just like maybe a minute and a half, I think Dimmu would have been favored here. But right now, this is starting to look a bit impossible for the Abbasids. Benny boy, not like this, surely. I know what people want to say. Why don't you just wall, Ben? Just wall. Like Wham walls. I mean, you saw how hard it was for Wham to wall under this pressure. Ben, if he'd done those walls, he wouldn't have this attack coming. Like, he wouldn't have had that early pressure on his side. And at this stage, I feel like the timing just wasn't there for him. He was sneaking out to extra berries at the most awkward time possible to try and get walls up. And the Gulim did just get a really good fight there. But it's come at a cost. These guys are everywhere. This is going to be a long game. Wham isn't really doing enough to, like, end the game straight away. But what he's doing is building a lead. So he's going to have to play a later phase, right? We have a moss drop in the far north. Might as well get some relics while we're out here, right? Wham is already playing for them as well. These walls from Wham. Kid's so obnoxious. So things have slowed down a bit, right? Like Wham, he's approaching 40 freeborn at one stage. He has been reset. Gulim count is looking okay now. Not crazy, but maybe enough to kind of thread the needle. Dumu has got the berry gathering on the north side. I don't know if Wham would really suspect that either. If he finds it, then Dumu is in a world of pain because he doesn't have a farm transition. There isn't much deer out here. I'm just looking at the options. They don't look great. Ben has to play the wide flanks to stand a chance here. The freeborn work against Magadai, so you should just get kited. Like you can kind of get a charge in. Like Magadai is so glass cannon. Like it would be depressing to watch that fight because it would take you like 170 shots to kill. So relic gets picked up and dragged in, but now you should be suspicious about the temple. However, Dimmu, instead of dying by 1,000 cuts, has decided to activate the One Punch soundtrack. And he's just sending it. This is going to force a reaction. The problem I'm seeing is, like, do you actually have enough Gulim for that reaction? It's only 9. Runs into the choke point. Freeborn need us around, but right now that's not happening. You see Dimmu pulls away half the army. Actually 2/3 of it, which is a handful. A quick pivot coming in from Wham. He's now going to re-engage. Gulim in the choke point. He'll probably get the best fight they're going to be able to get here. And even though this should be a loss for Dimmu, the reality is what he's doing is at least keeping pressure off of his own economy. Mostly. Mostly, but not all. Oh no! Dimmu, 32 villages. Now having to run all the way home. Still, I think considering where Dumu was at in this game, this is probably the best he could have got. He buys a lot of time with this play. We have Rax is now coming in, so additional Gulam to be on the way. He does need to solve the farm issue. Right now, he doesn't actually have long-term scalability than Gulams. He's got a surge point with the food income. That isn't going to last. And these archers, though. They still haven't been mopped up. Okay, this is an overreaction, I think, from Wham. He's using 75% of his army to chase this down. Is it me? Or is this winning Dumu the game? I actually think this is getting him everything he wants. He's bought so much time to go Gulams. And the thing about archers is, like, even a small group of comfortable archers here, you have to chase them because if they find your villages, they'll kill them really quick. That's why he's reacting like this. Archers will start moving in, so Dumu looking to take a few villages with him with that death blow. Now we're back up to over a 20 villager lead for the Abbasids. Gulam count looking better than it ever has. 14 in total. Completely some out of time forced on the backside here, but at this stage, not a bad thing for Dumu. He's going to have to keep some protection around here with the way he's playing forward, right? His next goal is going to be the tree line to the south. So having to lean everything over here where there's gold, wood, and potentially farms actually could make his life easier. I don't know about you guys. I kind of prefer Freeborn when they had the light melee infantry tag. And we actually have Springles now from Dim. Oh, okay, it's getting around, guys. It's contagious. Well, it makes sense, right? Like, you need a ranged unit. Archers get countered by the Freeborn. However, Springles don't. They're siege. And Freeborn only get bonus damage versus ranged. However, like, you are wasting some of your base damage, right? Like, he is still a range shot coming in. So that 7 ranged armor isn't for nothing. Farms in the center as well from Dumu. Why did he stop at 2? It's almost like he built them and felt really bad. One Gulam versus the Royal Malian army. Who would win? Oh, okay. What we need to see is one Landsknecht versus mass Freeborn. One gilded Landsknecht. God, this is so painful in the chase. We have farms being burnt here. Dumu's got additional building up further away, right? If he actually counterattacks now with the Gulams. The problem is, like, you need so many Gulams to defend against this many Freeborn, right? He's in a very weird predicament where it just feels like attacking is going to lose you more than you gain, because although Freeborn can't be challenged, Gulam rather can't be challenged, Freeborn can just dodge. And they can raid quicker as a result. Keep drop coming in the front against mass Freeborn. I mean, I guess it kind of kills them. Not quickly. Wow, look at that Springall damage. What a unit. What an incredible unit. I am blown away by how good this unit is. See, he killed one. Damn, so close. What a competitive fight that was. Nerf Springall's OP. So, Wham, approaching 60 Freeborn. It just takes too long to kill them. Oh no, and the wall from Dumu. Right idea, wrong time. If he got this up, it changes things, but instead, he's gonna get denied. Unbelievable. I can't believe we're a 20 eco lead about a minute ago for Dumu. It's now down to neck and neck. Oh my god, he got found on the berries again, I believe. Just great raids. Wham. Slowly destroying Dumu's plan here. I don't really know what Dumu's meant to do anymore. It's just so dumb how quick they are. You guys know that feeling when you run 20 spearmen to stop 50 horsemen breaking through a wood wall and you arrive too late, and then they run all the way past you to your economy, which you should have just stayed at originally? That's kind of this. Yeah. Like, when you scale the movement speeds as well, I think that tracks. And it's, like, more obnoxious, because despite the fact Gulam do a lot of damage, right, with the double strike, it's not like you're hitting for 40 each shot. We might finally get the walls up over here for Dimmu. I think you just need to send it. Every time he reacts, things get worse. Just try and do some damage, right? Like, it's awkward as well because this is what makes 3-1 so good. Is against this type of raids, your options are usually build ranged or build cavalry. You don't really have a good cavalry option. Lancers are going to be too expensive with so little food income, right? So you're left with Gulams. And you can build crossbows and archers to assist. They're not great, but the whole logic is, like, when you're running around after them, you get shots in. And it also does at least protect him against Sofa as a follow-up play, because the nightmare fuel for Dimmu, and I think this is why you're seeing him build crossbows, is if Wham switches Sofa, it's all over. We do at least have a stone wall on the south side. Unfortunately, some piece of crap came and stole our berries, says the Abbasid. I've actually been taking them away. No, there's no need for a Mustafadi switch up because the Freeborn are just much more efficient divers right now. Like, Wham's goal isn't to win a fight directly. He's punishing Dimmu for blowing economy on a map that is hard to do that with, right? Like, you spread out so wide on Borderland when you go 2CC. We are now at least gradually seeing more and more Mustafadi. Wait, no, he's actually relying on scrolls, guys. We have greased axles. Looks like he's trying to secure the northern wood line now. And looks like we might finally have a raid from Dimmu. He was chased all the way back, but this group will at least be able to shuffle into some farms. Ram does at least have the early heads up about what's coming. Yeah, the raids have stopped, right? This was very uncomfortable and took a long time, but Dimmu's kind of reached a point on the map where Wham's paranoid about being raided too. So instead of him just sending everything in, he now realizes that, oh, Dimmu's getting close enough to my base that if we both go in, Gulam's going to sit there for a lot longer and kill a lot more. Freeborn aren't heavy? No. So the reason why Dimmu is making crossbows is because he's scared of Sofa. That's literally what it is. Because if Wham stops blobbing Sofa with Freeborn, your Gulam just die. So like it does make sense from that perspective why he's doing it. And we have to remember, like, we have God Vision. We can see that Wham is just building infantry. Dimmu doesn't have that info. Got a breakthrough. Ooh, he walls himself in! But the villagers, I've seen them surviving this! Wham jumps in just like that. The rewall, he is going to be protected here, so he keeps the villagers alive. It's going to flood into the farms, though. Wham looking for the pickings here. Villagers are going to be shuffling away, but a big chunk of the army engages. What a clutch move there. Saves him 12 additional economy. Oh, what a sick play. It's still a heavy hit, but not heavy enough to really make a dent in the economy. We can already see he's still stabilized at 100 economy here. Just when you thought Wham was going to take a chill pill and turn it into a direct fight, he tries again. And that was crafty. Good fingers out of Dimmu just in the nick of time before that would have been disastrous. So he still has wood gathering. Farm count is at 35. We still have a ticking time bomb here, one that Wham needs to address directly sooner rather than later. Keep drops coming in. That should give him the decap on the sacred side. I say that with 34 Gulam. Someone tells me Dimmu's going to be saying no. Yeah, you can't hang around either. Like, this is becoming a bit of a problem for Wham. He's starting to save for Imperial Age. But Dumu is going to beat him to that punchline. Eco-wing now on the way. I feel like the percentile majority of the Age of Empires 4 community would not have played this deep into this Malian game. I mean, if you're on the receiving end. Like, one's in chat, if after the first 2 raids from Freeborn, you would have just called GG. Because this is, like, up there, right? This Freeborn strategy gave me flashbacks to how people molded about French Knights when the game first came out and how they loosed it, right? Like, this was everywhere. I'm bloody impressed with Dumu in this game. KP complimenting us, pretending we make the second raid. My apologies, I give too much in the expectations there. Oh, this is awkward. You're having to stand still against Springles now. They're kind of weirdly impactful at this stage. I don't know if Wham can compete from an age behind. Also, remember, the Elite Tech's going to be a little bit quicker, courtesy of Golden Age 2, right? So it only takes him 52 seconds. Every second counts here, and the Gulems... I mean, honestly, if you just go Elite Army Tactics, if we see a Uni Rush, which Dumu's doing his infamous gold-heavy bulk here, 4,500 sitting there. This should just be a Rush University, Elite Army Tactics, and curtains closed. Wow. Having to step up here. Tech complete. Springles are getting perfect lines of shots here. It's going to wrap around now. The Gulems are winning the fight because of it. Should be able to mop up the Springles, but the price is damn well high. Castle can't really be kept alive here. For so long, Wham has looked like he's winning this game because Dumu could not force a fight. He's found that sensitive spot in the Canadian's heart. And he's in the heart of the map here. Mangoes get pushed away. Look at all those techs. Improved processing, elite tech, elite tech, elite tech, elite tech. Sorry, 3 elites and a vet. Most Gulems have been mopped up, right? It's down to 8 now, but with the amount of income in the bank, remassing should not be a problem here for Dumu. Although the raids might have something to say about that. He's doing it again. This is non-stop. Treeline is in a bit of a predicament here. He needs to square her up. We do have a hand cannoneer switch on the way from Ben. And the keep is still alive. So, Dumu, he hasn't got that full secure on the castle's drops yet on the sacred site. It's still in contest on that north side. Man, these raids, it feels like it's not quite enough. Like, Wham is definitely doing damage, but as long as Dumu remains around 100 economy, it's not a bad position to find yourself in. With your improved economy via your techs, now you can just say 100, 110 is fine. Build the rest into military. Now, after that fight, Wham can't really afford to rush age 4. He has to reinvest, rebuild. Sacred Site is getting decapped, so that's at least one problem removed for him. Nine mangoes now from Wham. If he can get Imperial and just get adjustable crossbars, this game could flip entirely. Elite Army Tactics now on the way. Can't help but think Dumu was a little bit delayed getting into that tech. Had it been there earlier, this push for the Gulems would already be coming, right? He could have contested the Sacred Site. Culverins, in the meantime, are going to look to contest the keep. Now, funnily enough, at this stage in the game, Dumu would definitely benefit from a horseman switch. You should have the agriculture tech coming in. He's already got it. You've got improved processing. Like, mass farms, mass horseman blow would be insane here. Just don't seem to have it coming. Siege coming in onto the keep. So both of them just trading those out. Marlin Castle, of course, is going to be first to fall. And the boys are riding in again, but we already have Incendiary Arrows coming through. Elite Army Tactics is about to complete. Wham's first fight is going to be a difficult one. If Dumu forces him. I think at this stage, Dumu needs to apply pressure. Just sitting back may hurt him. Especially now that he sees 10 mangonels. And for the Huntress on the north side, he needed it to secure the tree line. So yeah, not really getting the key objective of Sacred Sites, but it does give him the long-term wood he needs to play Mangoes. And 4 Culverins just going to make quick work of the defenses here, though. Other tricky issue is the Mangoes, until they have adjustable crossbars, can't really step up to compete. Like, Culverin should be quite capable of sniping them. Remember, you do 105 damage per flurry with 3. If he goes for a 4th Culverin, he's insta-sniping Mangoes. Siege work's even coming in as well. I wonder if Dimu goes for his own Mangoes. It's tricky. I don't think you want to play mass Mango against Malians. They just have better gold income long term. Horseman, though, like we said before, is a golden player here. Another thing he has to be scared of is we have to remember that's now Imperial Age, which means 2nd Farimba unlock. And it is going to be the Mansa Musafadi. And these boys have a lot of melee padding. Look at that. 5 melee base. Elite Army Tactics makes this pretty absurd. Would allow him to go up to a total of 12 armor, I believe it is. 12 melee armor. The nightmare, actually, of Masculum. Adjustable crossbars is going to be on the way for Dimu. We want to consider adding in some outposts like he's doing here, because with Musafadi now taking to the field, ambushes are going to be real. Nice idle time being forced here by the Gulam on the back, so Wham being blocked off of the 8k gold vein. Still 5k up for grabs here for Dimu. Surely we must be approaching the culmination point. Sacred Sites are locked in again. Dimu is starting to leak into the economy. Wham, still just so much of his economy idle, right? Like, we're talking about 6th here not working. Composite bow archers is the play now for Dimu. Musafadi only doesn't work for Wham. So if you go like, weirdly enough, Gulam archers, that gives you a chase onto the Mangoes. The archers should be able to carry. It's a little bit weird. I think Horseman is just better. And I'm glad we're seeing that switch coming. He even has biology already prepped and on the way before veterancy comes through. Yeah, this is about to get a bit bonkers. While Horseman will hate to face Mansa Musafadi, the whole idea is like archers / hand cannoneer and Horseman should win. Interesting to see hand cannoneers from Dimu, considering the lack of long-term gold, though. And he continues to just breach, though. Wow, I'm not just yet ready to take the main fight. Mangoes are a spooky issue here for Dimu. Still, only once adjustable crossbars is complete. And we can see Wham is already prioritizing the elite army tactics instead. Gulam gets tickled by a Mango. Or 2, or 3, or 4. Yeah, this is underwhelming without adjustable crossbars, guys. Like, this is not good enough. Second wave coming from the north side. It's going to be diving in towards the siege. Archery action's going to be there with the hand cannoneers, though. And Wham, he's kind of trickling troops here. He's trying to go off the Culverins. I'm not impressed. Without adjustable crossbars, this is underwhelming. Dimu taking the military lead now. And the Gulams are in. He needs the body block. It just takes so long. 259 HP with boot camp. I'm starting to wonder if he forgot about it. I kind of get elite army tactics first. I mean, it's 1200 gold. I don't think Wham forgot. I think the idle time on the south side cost him his timing here. Elite horseman upgrade is now in. Villagers trying to fight back. That's going to be an absolute massacre. And that means Wham will not get the gold necessary for the tech that could win him this game. And no, he didn't already get the upgrade. Wham, you can see here, there's no adjustable crossbars. He does not have that tech. Forced off of his timing, it would see. And now, forced out a midweek muster in the semi-finals. A rare sight, Wham not making grand finals. Dimu, is this his first time? I think this might be Dimu's first time in the grand finals of midweek muster. A well-earned victory over one of the most threatening players in these weeklies. Benny boy. No denying that this is one of the most frustrating games for someone to try to have to play out. He does it. He finds his golden goose, his way to victory. And it means that he will be up for a showdown, a best of 7 up against 3D Clans B, the reigning victor in the midweek musters. Damn. Golf clappers all around. What a game out of Dimmu. Never giving up under that pressure. I mean, it's not easily done, sure. You know, Freeborn are not going to kill you quick, but they're going to kill you slow. That's the whole point. And it's a slow roll, but a roll to victory for Ben in game 4.